You know that person who never posts anything? Maybe they're your friend. Maybe they're you. While everyone else is documenting their holiday, they're just enjoying their holiday. And while you might think they're missing out, there's a chance they've figured out something the rest of us haven't. The less you need to prove your life online, the more real it actually feels. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you posted on social media? Now, when was the last time you thought about posting but didn't? That gap, that hesitation, tells you everything, because somewhere between opening the camera app and hitting share, something happens. Your brain does this quick calculation. Will people like this? Does this make me look good enough? Is my life interesting enough to get validation from 247 followers I haven't talked to in years? There's this sociologist named Irving Goffman who talked about how we all wear different masks to control how others see us. But here's the thing, social media didn't invent this. It just put that mask on a stage with a billion-person audience, forever. One bad caption isn't just awkward, it's permanent. Anyone can go back and judge it whenever they want. So people who don't post, they're skipping the performance completely. Studies show that about 30 to 40% of social media users are what researchers call lurkers, people who scroll but never share. And that word sounds creepy, right? Like they're hiding in the shadows, watching. But research published in Frontiers in Psychology found something interesting about why this happens. When you combine the pressure to post with the fear of being judged, something breaks. The study found that comparing yourself to others and worrying about privacy mixed with outside pressure creates exhaustion and anxiety, and those feelings make people just watch instead of post. Translation, your brain is trying to protect you. Think about it. Comparing yourself to others isn't just unhelpful, it's poison. Everyone's showing their best moments while you're stuck in Tuesday afternoon reality. There's this psychology concept called self-determination theory that says humans do best when they feel in control of their own choices without outside pressure. Social media is the exact opposite. It's a validation machine where your self-worth gets measured by likes and reactions. People who avoid posting aren't antisocial. They're protecting their sense of control. They're saying, my confidence doesn't need to come from strangers on the internet. Research shows that people who are more secure in themselves and don't need approval often feel no need to post about their lives. Their self-esteem isn't tied to likes or comments. They scroll because they enjoy seeing updates or staying connected, but they stay quiet because they value boundaries. Think about someone you know who rarely posts. When you actually see them in person, are they miserable? Lonely? No, they're usually just fine. Sometimes more than fine, because they're living their life instead of filming it. The trap you don't see coming. Here's what's intriguing. Even when you know social media is fake, your brain still falls for it. Psychologists have found that just scrolling, browsing without posting, makes you automatically compare yourself to others. You see someone's promotion, their engagement ring, their new house, and even though you know it's staged, the damage is done. Your subconscious doesn't care if it's real life or performed life. It just sees they have more than me. People who don't post avoid this constant attack, not because they're weak, because they know the game is rigged. Why would you voluntarily join a competition where everyone else controls the camera, the angles, and the story? And then there's this whole group of people who watch YouTube religiously but won't touch Instagram or TikTok. They'll binge watch a 3-hour video essay but scroll past every photo dump. Why? Because YouTube doesn't demand performance from them. It's consumption without the social pressure. No one's tracking if you liked the video. No one's wondering why you haven't posted in 3 months. You're just learning, laughing, existing. It's the ultimate passive relationship with content. All the entertainment, none of the anxiety. They've found the loophole. There's another layer here. People who avoid social media tend to have fewer friends but deeper relationships. They'd rather have 5 friends who actually know what's happening in their life than 1,000 people who liked a post. And honestly, research backs this up. Quality friendships consistently predict happiness way better than quantity. 10 real conversations beat 1,000 reactions. But here's where it gets interesting. Not posting doesn't mean not caring. These people are often super observant. They notice things others miss, the change in someone's posting frequency, the different tone in captions, the carefully built story that's just a slightly off. They're not checked out, they're paying close attention, just quietly. They prefer understanding to performing, thinking to broadcasting, depth to noise. Psychologists talk about two types of self-awareness. Public self-consciousness is worrying about how others see you. Private self-consciousness is thinking about your own thoughts and values. People who don't post lean towards the second one. Instead of asking, how will this look, they ask, how does this feel? This isn't overthinking. This is emotional intelligence. When you're not constantly managing your public image, you have mental space for actual self-reflection, for asking hard questions, for building an identity that doesn't need outside approval. And that creates something powerful, a sense of self that exists without an audience. Here's what people miss. Choosing not to post is not the same as hiding. It's not about fear, it's about power. It's saying, my private life is valuable enough that it doesn't need to be shared for others to consume. It's realizing that some experiences get worse when you perform them. That sunset, more beautiful when you're not photographing it. That conversation, more meaningful when you're not mentally writing the caption. That achievement, more satisfying when it's just yours. Researchers have found that people who rarely post often show higher levels of self-awareness and reflection. They're less affected by the emotional ups and downs that come from tying your worth to likes and comments. They're playing a longer game. But here's the paradox nobody talks about. The same traits that make you avoid social media, control, self-reflection, security, are exactly what social media claims to give you: connection, community, self-expression. Social media promised to bring us together. Instead, it created a performance economy where being real is the rarest thing, where silence became weird, where not posting became stranger than posting 3 times a day. The people who opt out aren't rejecting connection, they're rejecting the terms. They're saying, I'll connect, but on my terms, in real time, without the show. So here's what I want you to think about. What if the people who don't use social media aren't missing out? What if they're the ones who figured it out first? What if choosing privacy over posts, depth over followers, and being present over performing isn't antisocial? It's the ultimate form of self-respect. Because at the end of the day, nobody on their deathbed wishes they'd posted more, but plenty of people wish they'd lived more. The quiet ones aren't hiding in the shadows. They're just living in the light, where cameras can't reach. If this hit home for you, please subscribe. And if you want to support these deep dives, hit that join button to become a channel member. I would genuinely appreciate your support.